Hi, everybody. This is Adam.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're here with the TWNRGY Podcast. We just wanted to thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and continue to go on YouTube. Subscribe to us, TWNRGY, TWNRGY. And feel free to leave any comments, what you like, what you think we can work on. We're open and ready for that. And
also, if you can search us on Instagram, same thing, TWNRGY. And also, if you can search for us on Patreon, that's www.patreon.com/TWNRGY. On Patreon, you can also watch some of our videos, and you can contribute if you'd like. Continue to watch it for free. No worries, but there are some fees with this associated with posting. And also we were thinking about trying out some different workouts and some different supplements so we can discuss it with you guys. But again, feel free to listen to it for free, or if you'd like to contribute on a monthly or just a one-time fee or a one-time expense. So yeah, thank you very much for your continued support.
yeah, thank you very much.
And we'll continue to help you with your health and wellness. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining us on the TWNRGY Podcast. My name is Aaron.
And I'm Adam Fernandez.
And today's episode is episode number 6. And it deals with a topic that we can all use a lot less of in our life, and that's negativity. Negativity comes from, or can come from, our family, friends, work, finances, marketing, social media, and just issues that we experienced when we were younger in life. Two things I would like to say right off the bat that can help us with a lot of negativity that we have in our life is forgiveness, just incorporating forgiveness into your daily practice, whether it's forgiving others for things they've said or things they've done. Just forgiveness in general is very helpful to decrease a lot of negativity in your life, as well as being self-aware, determining whether or not you are creating a lot of the negativity that's in your life, or it is out exterior issues or exterior individuals or situations that are creating that negativity. The first subject matter that I want to discuss, which is probably a big part of a lot of the negativity that we all experience, is work. And some of that negativity can encompass our pay, opportunities, lack thereof in regards to opportunities, bosses, co-workers, as well as our commute. The one thing I want to say is that definitely the grass is not always greener on the other side, so just be aware of the issues that are going on right now, and things aren't always going to be better if you leave. One thing Adam said to me a long time ago is that it's better to deal with the devil that you do know as opposed to the devil that you don't know. That's not to say that all employers are devils, but just to reiterate, be aware of the issues that you have, and things aren't always going to be better if you were to leave your current employer. So, yeah, that being said, just be aware of what situations you're dealing with. One thing you can do first is, like I mentioned a moment ago, is just be self-aware. See what is going on at work, or maybe just to better your work situation. See what opportunities there are. See if there are additional responsibilities you can take on, either of these things that could maybe lead to higher pay. And if these things are lacking, then you may want to look elsewhere. But before you do, you also may want to look into possibly going back to school to get a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, or even just some sort of certificate program to learn a trade and see where that gets you at your current employer. If that doesn't get you anywhere, then you may want to look elsewhere and see what opportunities that you have now that you are more marketable with an additional education and experience as well. But the first subject matter I wanted to discuss is your issues that you may be having with either your coworkers, or the next issue I want to discuss is either the issues you're having with your coworkers or possibly your bosses. Again, look internally. Are you the one creating these issues, or is it truly the other individuals that are in your office? Once you've determined maybe what issues you're creating, and after you try to mitigate them, then focus on the issues that maybe other individuals in your office are creating. And what you'll want to do is confront them, but be very thoughtful when you're doing so. Think of what you're going to say. Keep in mind that they're more than likely going to be defensive. They're going to detract the blame and make up maybe any excuse under the book just to make themselves look better. So definitely do your research, be very tactful, and don't be too negative when you do bring it up to them. And more than likely, something may not happen because you say something to people. But the thing is, at least at the end of the day, you got it off your chest. Maybe things might get better, but just be, at the very end of the day, just be happy that you said something and see what happens. And hopefully something good happens out of this, but who knows? Something may not happen out of this. But also, another thing is just to, just in regards to this situation that I dealt with, when I worked at the bank many years ago, there was a boss that I had, and she was very negative, not just to myself, but to a lot of my coworkers. And we were very unhappy. I finally built up the courage to say something to her, and that's probably the most difficult aspect of this, just building up the courage to say something to that individual. I thought it over. I went to her when nobody was around and just had a discussion with her, let her know how she was treating other people in the office and how all of us felt. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, she was a little defensive, detract the blame, and basically didn't think that she was doing anything wrong. But as the weeks transpired, things got better at work. She definitely cleaned up her act a little bit. Things weren't perfect, but at the end of the day, things got a little bit better, and I felt good about myself because I brought up the issue. And pardon me, in regards to you, just speak up, because no one is going to speak up for you. So speak up for yourself and get your point across, and hopefully things will get better. As far as work is concerned, just be aware of what's going on. Don't overreact to a lot of things, and be patient. Things will more than likely get better sooner rather than later. Take a moment, marinate on that, and let's move on to the next subject. Another facet of our lives that creates negativity in our day-to-day life is our inner circle, and that includes our family, friends, so on and so forth. I know many of us are maybe in bad relationships, receive negativity from our families, or whether it's our parents and other family members or whatever the case, and may not just have any inspirational figures in our life. This being said, these issues can help put us into a deeper rut than we're currently in and make matters worse. But the best thing to do is, in my mind, is just to, like I said earlier, again, be self-aware. See what issues you're creating. Are you creating these issues? Are they in your head? And once you figure this out and try to mitigate those issues, and you do find out that there are exterior issues that are created by other people, your family per se, speak up with them. But be very tactful when you talk to your friends and family. You don't want to create more negativity. All you really want to do is mitigate the current negativity and make things more positive. These are the individuals that you love and that love you and that play a major role in our day-to-day lives. So you definitely want to be very wary when you do bring up issues to them. It is essential to strengthen the relationships that you have with your friends and family, because they play a big part in your foundation, and they help you on your daily basis in regards to dealing with a lot of issues that we have on a daily basis. So definitely practice patience and empathy when dealing with your friends and family members, because they're the ones that are the most meaningful in our lives, and they're the ones that are going to help us through a lot of issues that we're experiencing on a day-to-day basis. And in regards to not having any inspirational figures within your life, the one thing that you may, and this may be the case, this may be the case for a lot of individuals, you just don't have anybody close to you that is inspiring or that has a positive influence in your life. But there are many books on tape, as well as podcasts out there that can help you on your journey on a daily basis to help bring positivity and inspiration into your lives, whether it's events that transpired or it's actual individuals that tell a great story or have experienced a great deal that have persevered. Adam and I listened to a number of podcasts, listened to a number of books, as well as read a number of books. And in a future episode, we'll definitely go in a little bit deeper in regards to the books that we've read and podcasts that we listen to that help us on our day-to-day journey through life to help us stay motivated, stay inspired, and bring positivity to others. But this being said, I just want to turn it over to Adam and let him go over a couple things.
Alright, I'm going to start off by kind of talking about the social media aspects, social media and advertising aspects of negativity. One thing with social media is that we get absorbed into it, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is. There's many different choices of apps for social media on our phone that we want to be posting all the time. We want to be seeing what other people are doing, whether it makes us happy or it makes us feel negative that we're not doing that or we don't have this certain thing in our life. It's just we get absorbed with all these different social media apps, and it could cause just some negative things. And funny thing, probably about a month ago, Aaron and I had went over to downtown Huntington Beach and caught a UFC fight, and this pretty girl, she was sitting on the other side of the table, kind of watching the fight. But what I was doing, I was just kind of seeing her. She just had her phone in front of her the whole time, and she had posted pictures getting ready for the evening on Instagram, and she was just checking it probably about every 5 minutes. Oh, who looked at my picture? Going to it, seeing all the people who looked. Oh, okay, and then writing somebody a message, and really not paying much attention to her friends, just getting absorbed and kind of creating like this weird negative thing of just focusing on her phone and not being in the present moment with her friends, watching the fight, having a drink, having a good time. But just kind of how that can take us away from being present. Also, people at work and people at home with their family, they get absorbed with these different social medias. They neglect the work they're supposed to be doing at work, and also possibly their family and friends, and just kind of could create negative animosity that maybe go, oh, this person's always on their phone. I want to try to establish a relationship with them, but this is all they ever do is when they want to post, and the only way I could talk to them is when they're posting something. So it's just something to kind of think about on your kind of day-to-day ongoings of messing with your phone and checking different social media apps, and just kind of maybe looking to stay away from some of those different things, or kind of limit them and give yourself, okay, I'll only check it at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. So maybe just
set those parameters.
Yeah, definitely setting limits. Also, just kind of with marketing, it's just they try to convince us that we need something. In particular, I'll say the iPhone. You come out with 2 different iPhones every year. Like, we'll have the iPhone X, and then 6 months later we have the iPhone XR, which is a little bit change in here, a little bit change in there, but all in all, it's not much of a difference most likely. I don't have any iPhones, so I don't even know, but it's just funny. They just convince you every 6 months, jump on this plan with T-Mobile where you can have a new iPhone every year. You just turn in your old one and you just have a $50 payment that you have every month to pay it off, and just for the life of it you get a new iPhone until you want to get off this plan. So it's just, they kind of convince us that we need these things, and then it just leads to us being in a financial hole because we're constantly paying and having more debt. And then I'm just watching a episode of Dr. Oz at my parents' house with my mom over the weekend, and Shaquille O'Neal was on it, and he was just talking about how, oh yeah, this helps me, just kind of talking about different products that helps me. And then he was talking about this Zipa sleep mouthpiece that's supposed to prevent you from snoring, and that's why my mom kind of showed it to Aaron and I both snore. But so yeah, which we actually have that damn thing, and it kind of works. But it's, I don't know. He just didn't get it because of Shaq.
No, we had it well before him, and he wasn't even that enthusiastic as though he even uses the darn thing.
Yeah, I think they just paid him. You see him all the Carnival Cruise Line commercials, the General Insurance commercials.
And
now he's doing stuff with Papa John's. It's just all
good for him.
Yeah, making money. But I mean, like in my mind, do these things really benefit him, or is he just trying to sell them? So I don't know. It's just funny. Sometimes you just go on these different Instagram pages and people are trying to promote this protein or this makeup or this, that, and the other, and just wondered, does that make them happy? Is it really that beneficial? Like the things like I've mentioned, I use on a daily basis because I buy them myself, and I can personally feel the difference on it. But I don't know, it's just with social media and marketing, it's just very short-term gratification on things. Like you kind of see that you got a like, you're happy at that moment, and then you're just kind of go back to the way you're feeling, and just kind of very short-lived. Social media kind of programs us to live for short-term gratification. Just, oh, I want it quick. Oh, okay, now it's gone.
A like, a comment, whatever the case may be.
So it's just interesting. Just sometimes kind of step back and think of and what people or companies and videos are trying to sell us. So
and how we're so susceptible to falling for those ploys as well.
Yeah, I'm not innocent. I'm sure I see something that I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and then I buy it, and I'm like, damn it.
But we usually, Adam and I are pretty good. A lot of the times, I'll say a couple of years ago, we said, hey, before we buy something, let's wait. And I think it was Adam who thought of it. Like, let's wait a month, whether he wants something or I want something, whatever the case, and just fill it out. Do we truly need it? Is it something that's really going to benefit us? What are the pros and cons? Because I don't want to just go ahead and buy something that's a couple $100 and then a month later notice that I don't really need it. But that's one thing that we do. We try to be more self-aware and more conscious about the purchases that we make and whether they're increasing our value on a day-to-day basis.
And it's just maybe when it comes to buying these things and it kind of puts us in debt and a hole, think twice before you do it. Like Aaron just mentioned, maybe just wait X amount of time, a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever, and then see, did I really need that? Did I just want it? Is it going to be that beneficial to me? Am I going to use it? Or is it just going to go in my closet after a month? So yeah, just kind of put things aside, or even not get the item in general and possibly open a savings account where you would be buying something $50 every month. You could put $50 aside in a savings account in order to benefit your future self rather than that present short-term in the moment gratification of buying maybe a basketball that you don't need, that you bought and you take it out once and you're like, I'm done playing basketball.
Or that new shirt, that cool new outfit, whatever the case may be, just because you're susceptible to falling for that marketing that I've been guilty of. Maybe even to this day I'm still guilty of, but I try to mitigate and vet any purchases I don't need, and Adam and I typically are relatively good about doing so.
And then just with your finances, maybe keep a log. Is what I do personally. I put all my expenses, I kind of break it down to different segments and stuff, but just break down your expenses and also in there write down your income and try to make it so you have a positive balance at the end of every month. I take a look at it on a monthly basis, so I would say go ahead and see if you could challenge yourself to do 1 month and save $1, $10, $20. Just be positive on top of what your income and your expenses are, rather than being negative every month in the hole. And then you could use some of those savings to pay off the debt that you have, or just to put towards retirement or something, a trip that you may be wanting to take in the future. So it's just kind of good to do those kind of things and just help yourself out financially and just better yourself and not kind of be in that negative hole of finances and worry and wondering where you're going to get all this money from, so to pay off your bills. So also kind of to move aside from that is just talking about your health and well-being. Just kind of, it's easy to eat fast food, drink sodas, and kind of maybe regret that, feel negative, feel bad in your body inside. Because last week, personally with me, had pizza, had freaking
Guilty pleasure.
hadn't had it in a while, and I had 6 pieces, and I felt good that night. I felt good.
Sorry.
I felt good that night, and then the next day, my hip was a little sore, my knee was a little sore, just kind of achy because I don't eat that way. I'll have pizza maybe once every 3 or 4 months, if that. But I can just tell the difference in my body from the way I feel because I don't generally intake that kind of stuff, and I just feel negative, kind of just feel bad, and don't feel my regular kind of self. And even by the end of the day, I just kind of felt, maybe during the day I felt a little sluggish. At the end of the day, I felt a little bit better, but just kind of just that small bit of sleepy kind of sluggishness for the most of the day and even towards the end. So I don't know, just kind of stay away from these types of foods where it's just going to put you in a negative mood, feel guilty about eating that kind of stuff, and just try to cut it out as much as possible. And then kind of with your mind a bit, how we have negative thoughts, and just trying to get over those negative thoughts. One way that I would suggest is just kind of meditate a bit. If you're at work, you're mad at your boss, you're mad at your coworker, and you're just super frustrated. We've all been there. I know I've been there. And what I got to do, I'll just close my door sometimes, sit there, close my eyes, and just take some deep breaths just so I can get rid of the negative thoughts and try to get more positive and focus on the work that I'm supposed to be doing at work. And just even at home with family or friends, get the same way, and step away from the situation, just try to be quiet, go in my room, lay on the ground, lay on my bed, and just breathe and just try to focus on the positive, and just know that that moment is going to go behind me and it's going to be the past, and I just need to focus on the present and more towards the future and getting over whatever the situation is, whether it's at work, at home, out with friends. Is just kind of clearing my mind a bit, getting my wits about me, and just meditating a bit, and just kind of make it a point of doing that, stepping away from the situation and trying not to get upset at the person or the situation or whoever it may be. And so that's just kind of one personal thing that I just try to do. Not that I'm perfect. Sometimes I get mad and I stick with it, and it stays with me longer than I'd want.
Same here. I can be the same way.
But yeah, just don't try to make sure you don't have that little Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder saying you can't do this, you can't get over that. You just be mad, or you have no confidence in yourself. I don't know why you're doing this. Just kind of
dialogue, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of flick them off your shoulder, and then put in those positive thoughts, and just kind of have confidence in yourself, and know that you can do it. You can finish this thing at work, get over being mad at somebody, who it is, and just know that positive things could happen, and just get those negative thoughts out of your head.
Be your biggest cheerleader, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that you can be positive and get over these hurdles that life brings us.
So that kind of finishes my part, and I'm gonna shoot it back over to Aaron.
The last issue I want to cover is basically just issues that you may have experienced when you were in your childhood, whether they're minor or severe. My suggestion would be to talk to a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whatever best suits you and your situation. I really can't give advice on that, but I was talking to my friend's brother, who's a well-respected psychologist, and he kind of reiterated, or he said something that I already mentioned earlier, but that is practice forgiveness in your day-to-day practice. Include it, because you release a lot of stress that is on your shoulders when you forgive somebody for what they did, what they said, whatever the case may be, and that helps bring a lot of negativity out of your life. I'll say Adam and I, we had a lot of negativity growing up, whether it was bullies that picked on us because we were smaller individuals. It's like the low-hanging fruit. Let's make make fun of the short guys. We really didn't grow up that much taller after the fact, but
Yeah.
but either way, and then even family members, we experienced some negativity growing up from various family members as well. I don't want to get into detail, but long story short, we've forgiven a lot of these individuals, and I think that's what's helped us to mature and be strong-willed men and just be better individuals, better influences to other people as well, because life's too short. I'm not the best. I try to let go a lot of the negativity as quickly as possible by practicing forgiveness and trying to be that trying to let that internal cheerleader pep me up. But it's tough. It's a process, and if you incorporate it on a more regular basis, it becomes habitual and becomes a habit, and you learn to deal in a more positive light more often than in a negative light. But I just think that trying to mitigate the negativity in your life will help bring more positivity, and just continue to fight that battle and be a better person, and look for those individuals that can help support you, whether it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your aunt, your uncles, cousins, co-workers, family members, boyfriends, girlfriends, significant other, whatever the case. Try to confide in somebody. One thing that I always try to do to increase positivity in my life is let everybody that I feel is a key influence in my life, let them know how much I appreciate them. Whether it's my brother, whether it's my mom, dad, co-workers, friends. Even last night I was telling friends how much I appreciate them and their influence. And I always make sure to tell people, more so over the last year or so, just tell people I love them. And just, I don't feel that we hear that a lot in our lives. And like, it may be insignificant to you, but you may say it to somebody and it may make the world to them. So just spread that love, increase that love to help mitigate a lot of the negativity that we receive from where Adam was saying, whether it's social media, it's finances. A lot of the negativity that we experience on a daily basis is created from numero uno, ourselves. So figure out those issues. Figure out why we're spending, why do we need all these things, why are we digging ourselves into a deeper hole? Because at the end of the day, I've said it several times, be more self-aware. And by doing so, you'll help mitigate a lot of the negativity that you experience on a daily basis. But just wanted to say thank you guys for listening to us on our podcast, TWNRGY Podcast.
About negativity.
Episode number 6. Again, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Adam Fernandez.
And have a great day.
Take
Night, evening, whatever. Take care.
Bye.